Hey everybody, this is Randy Brown for Vlogging with Mr. Brown. Uh, I'm eating 3 jalapenos, 3 for each day that I missed the deadline. I do have a fourth one, and if I can stomach a fourth one, I'll eat a fourth one. But I got a little bowl here just in case I upchuck. So let's not mince words. Let's get into it. Like I said, I did delay 4 days, so truthfully I should do 4 days, but so we'll see how it goes. It's not that bad. That's one. One and done. Whew, that's hot. Numero dos. Let's plow through those. I might need some cheesecake after this. I need some time for my taste buds to calm down. I'm not gonna drink water, because that would exacerbate the issue. So, so while my mouth cools down, let me just say, working on a lot of things. I'm gonna take a break. Um, gonna take a break. I'm not even gonna start writing the next Cameo Man cartoon until Sunday. This project has taken a year of my life. And I say year because the cartoon has been out nearly a year. Not the first episode, but the cartoon. Because the first TV spot we did, the second TV spot we did, and the third TV spot we did counts. I had to animate those. Just because they're commercials doesn't mean that no work went into them. So in actuality, you got the cartoon a lot earlier than expected. You know, we did the teaser trailer where Fierce Man fights the giant blueberry. Then we did the second trailer where Fierce Man saves people from a burning building. And then we did the teaser trailer Fierce Man versus the Milkman. Was it the first episode? No. But we didn't say we were going to do the first episode. We said we were going to do a cartoon. That counts as a cartoon. A lot of work went into all 4 cartoons. I can only do 3 people. I'm sorry. I'm about to vomit right now. As a concession, I will not drink water for 10 minutes after I finish this. That's what I did to win the creme brulee at Tailgaters, which is now a totally different restaurant. But I will do that for you. Now, if this were pickled jalapenos, I could do it. I could cap them off. Last one. Okay, it's 9 minutes and 13 seconds. Okay, finished them in 9 minutes and 57 seconds. So now, as a concession, I will not drink water for the 10 minutes. At the 20-minute mark, I'm clicking off this. And then I'll have some cheesecake, which will alleviate the symptoms. So for this 20 minutes, give you an update, tell you about a few things. Now, Piers and I made a deal. The deal was this. I would do 2 Fierce Mans for him. Actually, if you count the Blueberry trailer, the House on Fire trailer, and the Fierce Man versus Milkman, I do it for Milk, by the way, and the Fierce Man episode. You know, I got at least 2 good cameo mans coming. So it's 2 for Fierce, 2 for me, 2 for Fierce, 2 for me, and we're just going to go back and forth. Now, the cameo man animation doesn't include the other stuff that I want to do. I know I've been putting it off for a really long time, and trust me, it pisses me off more than it pisses you off, but I have not done the Hooters video yet. I really want to jump on that. I really would like to make a weekly thing out of that. I don't want to just go every month. I want to go every week. You know, do magic for the pretty ladies there. But I do have other videos brewing. And right now, basically what I'm working on is I'm working on 2 books. The second book I started today, and the book is just called Living Modestly: How to Be Happy Anyway. Because you know, a lot of people get down and depressed, and sometimes people get angry. And you know, there's a difference between sadness and depression, or anger and rage. And basically, you know, sadness, it's going to be a little disclaimer in the book. You know, occasionally, you are going to get down. Occasionally, you're going to get angry. But, you know, there's a difference between getting angry every now and then and having anger issues. You know, there's a difference between being sad, you know, like once every 1 or 2 weeks, and depression. Depression is being sad all the time. And not only being sad all the time, being sad all the time with no reason. You know, because some people work themselves into a frenzy over tiny shit. Tiny stuff. And most of the time, it's not worth it. You know? Like, for example, sometimes, occasionally, and I know this is true for some other people, sometimes all Mom has to say is one tiny little comment that will set me off, or do one tiny little thing and it'll set me off, you know? And in hindsight being 2020, in hindsight, getting mad at that little comment, pretty stupid. And I need to learn to overcome that. And the book
is basically not only a book for you and how you can deal with your own problems, but it's also a reminder of what I know to myself. And a lot of the things people get mad at don't really matter. You know, like I've gotten in tons of arguments, and looking back, I can't even remember what those arguments were really about. You know, so and what I like to do is I like to engage the 20-year rule, which is in 20 years, is it really going to matter? No, probably not. Is it going to matter that I used the white garbage bags instead of the black garbage bags? No, probably not. Is it going to matter that my mom told me I had a booger hanging out my nose before I went out to karaoke? No, probably not. Does it matter that, that neither of us ate any apples and now we have to throw all those apples out? In 20 years, is that going to matter? You know what? No, probably not. It's not going to matter. So, starting arguments and starting fights and backbiting and getting in each other's faces, again, think about it. I mean, like when I used to do videos with my people, and I used to do videos with my friend Ron, Ari, and Chris, and I remember getting livid because we were doing a 24-hour film festival. The movie had to be done in 24 hours, and I was like, guys, we got to go with it. We can't just mess around. You can't just smoke. You gotta like hurry up and finish smoking and put it out because you can have a cigarette after that. And looking back, I was kind of like a little bit of a tool to some of my actors, and I got upset. I mean, like logically, if you wanted to win the contest, you had to do it in 24 hours. I mean, we did have very little time to get this stuff done. And it still was urgent, but could I have handled it a little bit better? Yeah, I could have. Could have handled it a little bit better, being a lot more judicious. But, that's why I strive to learn good communication skills. That's why I study neurolinguistic programming. I know a lot of language patterns that can do a lot of things that a lot of people just don't even know how to do. I know word-for-word patterns that can help you out. And you'll find some of the patterns in the book. The book right now, again, is entitled Living Modestly. And then the other book is also an NLP book. And the book, this one I think is going to be a big seller. And I'm not trying to cause controversy, but I think it's going to cause a little bit of controversy because the book is entitled NLP with Jesus. And I got a minute to pitch this to you because I'm going to go at exactly 20 minutes. So basically, the gist of the book is this. It's a book on neurolinguistic programming. It goes over many of the facets of neurolinguistic programming and what you'll find in a normal neurolinguistic programming book like Frogs and Differences or NLP for Dummies. And it basically shows you how Jesus used NLP way back then. And you're probably asking, like, wait, Randy, how could that be? Like, Jesus existed long before NLP was even existed. Well, I'm going to go over that in my book. And one of the things you got to realize is that, well, I'll go over a minute. One of the things you got to realize about NLP is NLP doesn't teach anything new. It shows you the structure of what successful people do, shows you the techniques, takes those techniques and gives them catchy little names. And then now you can take what Jesus did and you can do exactly what Jesus did by breaking down his techniques. And I'm going to be describing and giving a lot of the names to a lot of the techniques that Jesus did. And, a lot of the techniques that NLP, that Jesus did, already have names. Like one example is chunking, which is just basically breaking something down into manageable chunks so that you can, be more organized and successful. Like, for example, Jesus, when he gave the Sermon on the Mount, he broke the crowd up into groups of 50 and 100, and that is an example of chunking. Jesus is breaking everything up. He's organized, and then Jesus didn't try to do everything himself. He broke up his congregation into 12 apostles. So there you go. There's an example of chunking right there. And then later on, after Jesus' resurrection, after Jesus ascended to heaven, the apostles appointed 10 people to continue the preaching work. And while Jesus was here, he sent out people to preach in twos. Those are all examples of chunking. And neurolinguistic programming is a science. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the Bible is scientifically accurate. There are certain things in the Bible that a lot of people don't realize are science. Like, for example, in the Bible, it says that the earth is a sphere that hangs on nothing. And this was about 2,000 years, maybe 1,800 years before man discovered that the earth was round. And one of the things, a lot of people don't know that Columbus originally pitched this idea to the Queen at the time and the reason he pitched it was because it was in the Bible. Columbus read the Bible. The earth is a sphere, hangs on nothing. And, he had such great faith that he decided, I'm going to try to sail around the world. And he discovered America. So there you go. So, actually, not bad. Not bad. I'm 23 minutes in, and I still haven't had a glass of water, or milk, or cheesecake. So, yeah, so there's my books. Living Modestly, How to Be Happy Anyway, and then my other book is going to be called NLP and Jesus. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if this all interests you, and in the sake of file size, I'm going to have to cut it at 24 minutes. I'm going to say my name is Randy Brown from Vlogging with Mr. Brown, and I will see you, Botchra.